if you wanted to get going with a roll call, we could probably do that.
All right, well, let's call to order the Independence TIF Commission meeting of April the 8th, 2021. Jordan, can you do the roll call, please?
Yes, Commissioner Brute.
Here.
Commissioner John. Commissioner Cormendi. Commissioner Martin.
Present.
Commissioner Shirk. Commissioner Clifford.
Present.
Commissioner Schulte.
Present.
Commissioner Sampson.
Present.
Commissioner Swanson. Commissioner Potter.
Present.
And Chairman Cooney.
Present. All right, very good. Were there any citizen requests for us tonight?
No, that item's just there for people who need information to log in. So
Very good, thank you. All right, so looks like next item on the agenda is the approval of the minutes from the February 11th commission meeting. Those were provided in the link that was sent out. Do I hear a motion to approve?
So moved.
All right, is there a second?
Second.
All right, all in favor say aye.
Aye. Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. Motion carries. The next item on the agenda then is the approval of the March 11, 2021 minutes, which were also provided. Is there a motion for approval of those minutes?
So moved.
All right. And is there a second?
Second.
All right. Hearing a motion and second, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, nay. All right, that motion carries and those minutes are approved as well. Next on the agenda is, I think we want to look for staff comments.
yeah, I think, David, did you want to speak for staff?
Yes. So on the agenda, we have a request to continue for 3 months. And that was the city's position as of this morning, but there's been some updates. Developer has proposed a solution to some of the concerns that were expressed at the last meeting that I will let Bill Moore describe in a second. But the result of that is we would like to amend that request to extend to a date certain, and Jordan can provide the date that's being proposed, but I believe it's next week or the week after. We do not need the longer period of time in order to undertake the developer's suggestion because it does not involve or require bondholder consent. We do need to adjourn to another meeting, extend the hearing to another meeting because of the way that the agenda was written as posted. We don't want there to be any sort of a misrepresentation to the public or taxing jurisdictions that this meeting wasn't to include approval of the plan amendment and then move on and actually ask you to approve the plan at this meeting. So the request will be a date certain in the next couple of weeks, and I'll turn it over to Bill to explain the proposal.
Mr. Moore?
So thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you, David, for the introduction. First of all, I want to thank the city staff and their representatives of the city who've been working on that original proposal to obtain bondholder consent that would allow for a sharing of the pilots by the city with those other taxing jurisdictions. As David Martin has indicated, it's going to take at least 3 months to get to that point, and maybe take a little bit longer. And so as a result, my clients have been talking, and actually we just recently, I think maybe last night, sent out a proposal that would, as David Martin indicated, would not need bondholder consent. My clients are offering to make a one-time cash payment to selected taxing jurisdictions in the amount of $150,000, which would be the equivalent of approximately a little bit less than 15% of what the revenue stream would have been, which is the number that the city staff was looking at in terms of getting consent from bondholders. The way that we're proposing this, it would be a direct payment to the taxing jurisdictions as a capital contribution as a result of the impact of the project on those jurisdictions. And I'm not going to speak for the taxing jurisdictions representatives that I've been speaking with, but I believe we have a consensus that this can work. We just need a little bit of time to paper it, put it together, and hopefully be back here in the next week or so to present it to you formally as an attachment to the resolution recommending approval. With that, I can certainly answer any questions that anybody has, but that is essentially the proposal.
Any questions from the commission for Mr. Moore?
I have one. This is Commissioner Martin. This one-time tax payment, you said that goes to the taxing jurisdictions, right? Not back directly to the bondholders.
That is correct. It goes to the taxing jurisdictions, Mr. Martin, which is what we understand was the goal of the city in trying to get the bondholder consent. So
Okay,
it's accomplishing the same thing.
I understand that from your perspective there to, going back to the bondholders. My concern is that the sales tax that should have been in there, instead of apartment buildings, if those were actually businesses, the sales taxes that we generate go way beyond just going back to the city. They go back to pay the bondholders. They go to our streets. They go to our schools. They go to several different entities that, from what I understand, if we approve this, those entities will lose that projected revenue. Am I correct in that assumption?
So if this is approved, the use of a portion of the property within the redevelopment area will be different than originally anticipated. And so it will not generate sales tax revenue by virtue of simply building the multifamily development. It will generate pilots, and it will indirectly, at least the assumption is, benefit the existing development by bringing more people into the area as sort of a captive audience for the sales tax generating businesses that do exist there. But to answer your question most directly, if a sales tax generating entity had located in the same space as this multifamily development, it would likely have generated sales tax revenues where this will not. I think the takeaway is from the history here that they have been marketing this property for a number of years and have not been able to get a sales tax generating business to locate there. And so this is what they have been able to attract, even though it wasn't in line with the original assumptions. This is what's available.
Is there a reason why businesses are not being attracted to that area? It's there's got to be a cause for that. So, businesses have located there. There's several of them there already. What is stopping the others from locating into that area?
Mr. Martin, on behalf of the developers of the shopping center, I think I can say that they've been actively trying to market this entire property ever since this TIF plan was approved, and unfortunately, there just hasn't been the demand for retail within this particular shopping center. And I think, as we mentioned at the last TIF Commission hearing, demand for retail generally is down. Citywide, it's down. Retail businesses are closing. It's not increasing, it's decreasing. And so as David Martin indicated, I think the hope here is by bringing in roughly 400 residents who will have disposable income, that it can help generate additional development within the remaining areas of the Crackerneck Creek Shopping Center.
I see. Okay. All right. Thank you.
Further questions or comments? All right. Then I presume it's appropriate at this point then to ask for a motion. Do we have a specific date in mind for the continuance?
City staff is proposing April 22nd, so that is 2 weeks from today. That works with the city's calendar, and it appears those members who are not here tonight would be able to work that into their calendars. So if the members present tonight have availability for the 22nd, that is at 6 p.m. is the city's recommendation.
And just so that I'm clear, at least the concept would be that would be the date on which the commission would determine the project and vote up or down with regard to the project.
That is correct. And staff would work to have a resolution, as we did last time, outlining the proposal for everyone to review ahead of time.
Very good. So then is there a motion to continue tonight's hearing to April the 22nd at 6 p.m.?
So moved.
All right. And is there a second?
Second.
All right. Thank you. Any further discussion? Mr. Potter?
Yes, Mr. Chair, I was wondering if it might be possible for at this upcoming meeting or before the meeting to have some sort of a draft MOU. I think Mr. Moore did a great job of outlining what was being proposed, but I think if we could formalize it a little bit, put something in writing that we could have in front of all of us, it would be a good thing.
All right.
Mr. Potter, yes, I'll certainly work with David Martin in putting together the appropriate document.
All right. Further comment? All right. Seeing and hearing nothing. All in favor of continuing this case to April the 22nd, 2021 at 6 p.m. say aye.
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 All right.
Aye.
Opposed, nay. All right, so that motion carries. And this case will be continued to that date. And I think that is the only issue that needs to come before us tonight. So
Martin, does that motion need a roll call?
Good question. Mr. Landon, do we need to have a roll call on that?
We've done it in the past. I can do it if that was to be in keeping with what we've done.
No reason not to then. Let's go ahead and do a roll call if we may, please.
All right. Commissioner Brew?
Yes.
Commissioner Martin?
Yes.
Commissioner Clifford?
Yes.
Commissioner Schulte,
Yes.
Commissioner Sampson,
Yes.
Commissioner Swanson,
Yes.
Commissioner Potter,
Yes.
and Chairman Cooney.
Yes.
That motion passes.
All right, very good. Well, then we will see everyone back on April the 22nd at 6 p.m. And for this evening, we are adjourned. Thank you for your time, everyone.
Have a good evening.
Good evening. Thank you.